Hey everyone, it's been a while. I haven't been able to post anything in the last 2 weeks or so because the last 2 weeks have just been a roller coaster for me. My two youngest have been both unwell at the same time, so it's just been crazy. Anyway, we continue with our chats about emotional neglect in relationships and in particular marriages. Recently, I was chatting with a friend and we're talking about how we spoke about a number of things, but two of the things that I would like to share from our conversations are how that one, if you don't speak up for yourself, no one will. You have to speak up for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to come to a place where you say, I cannot take this anymore and it needs to be dealt with. She was sharing how that she admitted how that she had actually enabled her husband to behave badly and to not treat her right and to just be emotionally abusive, emotionally, financially, because usually the end result of emotional abuse is not necessarily the end result, but the culmination of emotional abuse is financial abuse. If you are in this space, you have to speak up for yourself. No one else will. The thing with emotional abuse and neglect is that it's hard to explain it to people. It's hard to explain it to people because even you yourself are not sure if you feel that it's wrong, but you don't have a language to express it. I remember one of the people that read my book was saying how that through my book, she had a language for what was going on. Now she could express what was going on because initially she didn't even know how to express it. That's the thing about emotional neglect and abuse. You can It's hard to express it. And that's why I'm sharing these videos, because I'm trying to give as many people a language, as many people as I can, a language for what they're going through. The other thing that we spoke about was how that a person who is emotionally neglectful is coming from a place of emotional neglect. Unless they're just a typical narcissist, which most of the time an emotionally neglectful person has a huge narcissistic tendencies. But it started somewhere. And sometimes they don't even realize that this is what they're doing. By you speaking up and blowing the whistle and saying, no, 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 this is not okay, you might actually be helping them discover that, oh, this is what I do and it's not okay. If they're a person who really loves you genuinely and they truly want the relationship to work, you will actually help them. But if you don't speak up, you won't help them. You won't help them, and this cycle will just continue, and you will not even be able to salvage your marriage or your relationship. But once you start speaking up, there is a possibility that you'll be able to salvage your relationship. Or if you you feel like sticking it out and through all this and you won't do anything, at least you'll be able to salvage your sanity. Let's speak up. Let's talk about these things. When determining if a relationship is creating toxicity, it's important to look at which behaviors are being displayed most frequently in the relationship. If one of you, if one or both of you are consistently selfish, negative, and disrespectful, you could be creating toxicity in the relationship. But if you're mostly encouraging, compassionate, and respectful, then there might be a certain issue that creates toxicity that needs to be addressed. If the behaviors are generally negative from one or both parties in the relationship, then the relationship is toxic. But if it's just a particular issue, it's important to recognize the signs of toxicity, whether it's in you or in the other person. Here are some signs of both toxic behaviors and healthy behaviors. So these are the toxic behaviors: insecurity, jealousy, negativity, self centeredness, selfishness, being critical, demeaning, distrusting, abusive, and disrespectful. How I will try and explain those a bit more. Insecurity is where a person always wants to know where you are, what you're doing. There's a place where it's done with love because you want to talk to your partner. But there's another place where it's done with, where are you going? That critical attitude. And then jealousy, that's self explanatory. Negativity, this is nothing positive that can come out of your mouth or your spouse's mouth or the mouth of the person who's being negative. There's always something wrong that's being done. Self centeredness, again, this is self explanatory. If someone is ever thinking about themselves, even when they talk about what's needed, it's about them. I need this. I need to do this. I don't like this. It's always about them. Selfishness. Critical. Being critical is, criticism is good, but there's a place where all you get from this person is criticism. There's no encouragement. There's no pushing you forward. It's always just criticism after criticism. Demeaning. Demeaning is what you do holds no value. Your dreams, they're belittled. Your thoughts are belittled. Your ideas are belittled. Everything about you is belittled. Abusive. This is a huge one. So, this is emotional abuse, financial abuse, physical abuse, and sexual abuse. Believe it or not, there's a lot of sexual abuse in marriages, especially where there is emotional neglect. Because when you're emotionally neglected, it means that you have no connection with your spouse. And so when you have no connection with your spouse, it means that as a lady, when it's time for sexual intercourse, you're not ready. That's just science. But then this person is ever just demanding for you to have sexual relations and you are not ready and they're not helping you in any way to be ready. That is sexual abuse, guys. And this is one of the places where there's a lot of controversy, where no, your body is your husband's. Yes, your body is your husband's. But the Bible also says submit to one another. Submit one to another. It's not only the wife who's supposed. If in your sexual relations you feel like you are usually being forced, you have no say about it, or you don't even enjoy your sexual relations for most of the time, those are huge red flags that there might be a serious toxicity problem in your relationship. And you need to get up and start talking about it. Look for help. Healthy behaviors in a relationship. There is security. People feel secure in this relationship. Loving, positive, giving, selfless, encouraging, uplifting, trustworthy, compassionate, and respectful. If you have these behaviors in your marriage, you have a healthy relationship. Sure, you'll disagree from time to time, or come upon other bumps in the road, but you generally make decisions together. You openly discuss problems that arise, and most of all, you genuinely enjoy each other's company.